everybody, and welcome to the takeaway. He's Wolf, and I am Tunch and Wolf.
We are sleep deprived, first of all.
Number
so
one.
If we make no common sense whatsoever, it's because we have not had hardly any
sleep. But you're a professional. You can suck it up. Come
Here
on,
we go.
Cupcakes.
All right,
suck it up.
Let's go.
Well, first of all, let's go with the offense. The offense sputtered early in the game. They didn't run the ball very effectively, and it looked like at times Mason Rudolph was staring down the coverage, and maybe a little paralysis by analysis.
And I think maybe pressing a little.
Yeah.
You know, with each third down that they weren't able to roll the chains on, it got to be a little bit tighter and a little bit tighter. And I think it just was one of those things that it wasn't until after, he tossed that big one over to Juju and he went 76 yards. But that's when things loosened up. But I go with this, Chulich. The first half story was real simple. 4 takeaways the Steelers had and 6 points. You can't do that. You can't do that and win.
Well, let's get back to the offense. On the touchdown pass to Juju, that was a great route concept. Juju was on the inside. They had a bunch. James Washington ran a shallow cross. Juju ran an intermediate cross. And the other receiver ran a deep in-cut. But one of the things that was so effective about Juju was that when he was running that intermediate cross, he did the old stair step. He's coming across, and then he takes 2 steps upfield, which loses the corner.
Absolutely.
And then he had that speed to, leave him in the dust.
Who was the safety that came up? I don't know. He took either
a
bad angle. Okay.
Yeah.
Took a bad angle, or you just got that competitive speed of Juju that they keep underestimating. He seems to motor with that ball in his hands.
Yeah, and then the other thing is on that pass, they ran a 3U game. And
yes, I remember that.
It was a great pickup, but it was all man.
Yep.
So Ramon got his guy, and Marquise got his guy. And one of the things that Al did was he came underneath with Nick Bosa, and he had him stuffed.
That's good.
That
he
was
needed it.
Yeah.
Good job there.
And then the other touchdown to Deontay Johnson. Varnett. The play before tackled James Washington, and I said, "Hey man, that's still."
Well, you said it right in the booth. He says, like the prophet. He goes, "Hey, I'd go after Barrett again. Do it again. Make sure that his head's spinning. Go after him. Then bam. I have to give you props on that because it was right. The kid's head was spinning even after the touchdown. They showed him on the bench. And he was sitting there, and you could tell. I mean, he was still thinking it over.
Everybody else was in cover 3. He came up to press.
I don't know what he was
pressed Deontay, and then when Deontay gave him a little sugar, he stopped. In cover 3, the corner and the other corner has the deep third on their side. He didn't act like it.
He didn't.
He acted like it was playing man coverage.
I think maybe he was. I will say this. Offensively, the Steelers just. What we got to do is get back to a little more of the ground and pound. And I would love to see Mason do more under center. I just think the play action.
The hand in the dirt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't
give the
come
guys
off
a
the
chance
ball.
to go down, get their downhill bang on.
Yeah, you can't get off the ball on a 2-point stance.
No.
You got to put your hand in the dirt.
Absolutely.
So that's why get under the center. Forget about shotgun on running plays. Come off the ball.
Absolutely. Now you got the defense. The key thing is they had 5 takeaways. 5 takeaways, you should be winning the game. I mean, there's just no question about it. You got to hand it to San Francisco. That outside zone is a difficult running scheme to stop. And I got to tell you something. It is like a 3-ring circus. When you watch, you got tight end motion, you got wham motion with Juszczyk, you got jet motion, you got all kinds of motion. I mean, the linebackers, to be able to stay and keep their sight lines. It's got to be unbelievable.
And it worked. A lot of window dressing.
It was
a lot of eye candy, and then they ran the outside
zone.
And
he's not talking about us. We're old guys.
We're not eye candy. But what I mean by eye candy is the emotions you were talking about. And then when they ran the outside zone, they got to the perimeter because Breida and Munster. They're both 4-3 guys, and they got on the outside. And then the other thing that I was very impressed with, they ran the counter trap where Lake and Tomlinson pulled around, kicked out TJ, and Juszczyk came running up. And
he is an old school fullback. That guy plays fullback the way they used to in the 80s and 90s. They tried to eviscerate the man.
Right.
You know what I
mean? And they did a great job.
And I'll tell you this too: offensively, defensively, we bumped into Tim Ryan. Tim Ryan gave you a great stat.
Right, yeah. He said 13 guys have been timed at 20 miles per hour or over on the San Francisco 49ers.
That's the personification of team speed.
That's fast. And the next team that has is 8 guys.
Yeah, I think it was Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota had 8 guys. And so, that's a fast team on both sides of the ball. The corners are fast, the safeties are fast, the linebackers. Kwan Alexander is all over the place.
Absolutely.
And Fred Warner is as well.
Now, on the good news, you talk about key players.
Yeah.
Minkah Fitzpatrick
was great.
5 days of practice or so, the guy comes out, he's got forces a fumble, he's got an interception. This guy, you can tell the ball finds him.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to some more good things from this guy.
Right. Well, thanks to J&D Waterproofing for sponsoring the takeaway. He's Wolf, I'm Tunch, and we'll see you next week.
And we are an eye candy.
Hopefully with better news.
Yeah, hopefully better news.